Hi there, it's Heavy Hands here again, Jordy Johnson at Carving Fusion. Once in a while, I get asked a great question on my comments. Now, this question comes from Brent Rader, Rader. Now, Brent Rader, I don't know if Brent Rader is a man or a lady, but their question was the husband and wife watch my videos all the time, and thank you for that comment. And hello, Brent Ratter. I'm not too sure if Brent is the wife or the husband because I know some ladies named Brett. So, anyways, thanks for the question, and here's a shout out to you. Their question was, I want to just point out quickly. I'm left-handed. My Dremel hangs on the left-hand side, right? If you're right-handed, put your Dremel on the right-hand side if you want. Now, their question is about this dust collector table and this plate here. Now, let me put the camera in the overhead and answer your question for you. Okay, so I just want to first point out, I'm not too sure if this whole thing gets onto when it makes it to YouTube, but I want to say here's the edge of my desk at the bottom of the screen where my finger is, all right? So that's the edge of the desk. Now, their question is, when I'm carving and they're watching my videos, they can never tell how far the hole is from the edge of the desk. And I'll just say right now, mine's 6.5 inches, 6 inches, 6.5 inches, 6.25. Now, their question is, how far away is my hole from the edge? Now, well, I just gave you the answer. It's 6 inches. But I want to give you a suggestion for anybody wanting to build a dust collector table. Now, I'll pull this. If you want to learn how I made my dust collector table and how mine works, go into my playlists and you will see a bunch of videos on my dust collector table. Now, this is an aluminum plate that I cut and I drilled all these holes. It's just full with gunk, epoxy and paint and whatever, but it's aluminum. You can go to the hardware store and buy that peg board. It's a wooden board that already has a bunch of holes punched into it or drilled into it. Now, here's my suggestion if you're going to build a Dremel carving table with a dust collector. Now, this down here, it's a little plastic box thing that I bought on Amazon. It's for a hood. It's for a hood fan or a range fan or something. Just search that. It's for like somebody has a saw in their shop and will suck the dust up or something. Anyways, I have a shop vac, not a shop vac. Sorry, I have a dust collector, and for all the, I apologize. Sometimes I stumble my words and I forget what I was saying, and I just say weird shit. So I apologize. I got a head injury. Apologize beforehand. So my dust collector is 1.5 amps, and it's in my closet. And the hole size that comes out of for your pipe to get to your table is 4 inches, right? So you can use a shop vac. You're not going to get as much suction from a shop vac as a dust collector, but you can use a shop vac, but the hose will be small. The hole will be smaller for your pipe, but you can get expanders and make it bigger. But what I suggest, when you get this plate, how big's my plate? Let's measure this. This is 11 inches, just roughly 11 inches by 7 inches, okay? 11 by 7. The bigger that you cut your square hole in your table, doesn't have to be square. If you want to do it round, you can do it round. If you want to do it like a friggin' triangle, do triangle. The bigger that you make your hole in your table, the less suction you're going to get. That dust collector with the 4 inch, that's what that dust collector is set up for the 4 inches. Really to get the most suction is this plate. I should just have my holes drilled right there and forget about all these holes. Just have a round thing, but make them bigger so when you're carving, dust goes over here and everywhere. It has more chance to suck it up, if that makes sense to you. If you do cut your hole too big, and then you turn on your dust collector, and it doesn't, or your shop vac, it doesn't have that much suction, you could always get some tape and tape up some of these holes wherever you want to. Sometimes you can tape up half this side, or you can tape up half this side. Depends if you're left-handed or right-handed, wherever your dust is going to go. So what I suggest I'm trying to keep this all in line, everything here when I'm talking. I'm a left-handed carver. Okay? So when I'm carving, the dust gets pushed out. And it always goes this way, right? Because I'm just kind of sitting like this and the dust goes this way. The right-handers, when they're carving, I'm terrible with my right hand, but when they're carving, the dust comes this way, right? Comes towards you. When I'm carving left-handed, the dust comes up and over. The dust comes from around back and over like that. I think, don't hold me to it, but I think you right-handers, when you're carving, the dust just gets pushed straight back. Long story short, get to the point here. Long story short, because I'm left-handed, the dust gets pushed away. I wish I would have had this plate in the hole over here more, farther away. The right-handers, because you're pushing the dust towards you, it's better if you have your plate, your whole plate more towards you. It gives your dust collector chance, it gives it time to catch the dust if it's closer to you. Because when I'm carving right away, when I'm carving fast and heavy like I normally do, this dust collector table has a hard time catching that dust straight away because I'm carving right on top of it. And there's a lot of whatever called force or friction or whatever from that dust. But if I had this a little bit farther back, it would have time. The dust wouldn't be such an impact. It would have more time to suck it up. Now, what I suggest you do, I suggest you sit it before you have your hole. I suggest that you sit at your like have your table set up. I know it's going to be dusty, but you can have a little tube with your shop vac and just sucking up the dust, whatever you want to do. I suggest before you have your hole, and I know I repeat myself and I apologize, sit at your table and start carving something small. And set up your camera off on this. If you have a phone with the camera, some people still don't. Set up your camera and film it. And just naturally carve and forget that you're filming and forgetting that what you're trying to do here is try and find the hot spot, right? Forget that you're filming or anything and just naturally carve. Then after you're done that, watch the video that you filmed and see which way the dust goes. That's a good indicator where you want to put your hole, right? So long story short, I think the right-handed carvers, which most of the world is right-handed carvers, put your hole closer towards you. The left-handed carvers, put your hole farther away from you. My hole, let me get my screwdriver here. Me, myself, and I, when I first did this table, I sat here and I pretended I was carving. All right? Pretending I was carving. And look, the hole is where I thought it should be when I was pretending while I was carving it, because I wanted the dust to go straight down as soon as I was carving it. But that's not really the case. And all this area right here should be over here. This table, because I'm left-handed, this should be farther away. So next time, I'm going to sit at my table. I have to buy a whole new desk. I'm going to cut this desk in half with a chainsaw and throw it out the window because I'm moving. So next time I set up, I'm going to actually sit and I'm going to carve something small. This is a piece of basswood, carve it. I'm going to film it. I'm going to watch where the dust. Well, I don't have to film it because I know where the dust is going to go. I'm left-handed. The dust is going to go that way. There's never dust over this way for me. Just like fine dust. But the dust is always in that corner. I get little by little broom. I clean up my table. And there's always a big amount when I'm doing fast, heavy carving. Dust is always in that corner, not that corner. Because I'm left-handed. Long story short, again, the right-handed people wanting to build the dust collector table, I think you're better off having your hole more towards you and maybe off to the right. The left-handed people have it further away and maybe off to the left. Set up that video, watch where the dust goes. Don't have it too far away and too close to you, but find the happy spot in between, right? Does that answer your question? And thanks for such a great question.